Chapter 201, Good News. The noon of the next day. Tang Xiu quietly left Southgate Town to meet the two top brasses sent by the Chu and Bai families. After having a secret negotiation for half an hour, the two then went back to Beijing. The answer from the both of them was that they agreed to the deal. The ones who were the happiest was not Tang Xiu, but Chui and Bai Tao, who then rushed to Star City in a hurry. From both parties, Tang Xiu learned that their families had decided to nurture them as the future heads of the families. Even their arrival to Star City this time also brought along 8 billion yuan with them. Late at night, a Mercedes-Benz car drove towards Southgate Town as Tang Xiu then met with the travel-worn Xiaomingzhen on the first floor of his villa. I heard that you just went back to northern Jiangsu 2 days ago. How did you come back today? A happy expression could be seen from the corner of Xiaomingzhen's eyes as he said, Brother Tang, you should have heard the saying, you're trying to find something wholeheartedly with no success, but then you found it by accident without even sweating. Well, the reason I hurried back this time is to tell you good news. What good news? Tang Xiu asked with a puzzled expression. Take a look at this recorded video I've taken, then you'll know. Xiaomingzhen played a video on his mobile phone. Tang Xiu took his mobile and watched a man and a woman being tied up in the video. What he didn't expect was that the man turned out to be Zhang Yongjin. He informed the other forces to help to find Zhang Yongjin's whereabouts with no result. That was why he didn't expect that Xiaomingzhen was the one who found him. How did you find him? And who's the woman beside him? Xiaomingzhen received his phone back with a cheerful mood as he then happily said, Well, 4 days ago a small team leader for my people was set up and arranged a gambling joint which can give a big winning prize. That woman is called Sun Hong and she's a famous gambling addict from northern Jiangsu's Peng City. In that gambling joint, she won 2 million yuan while Zhang Yongjin who was with her lost more than 10 million. Afterward, the both of them borrowed 6 million high-interest loans from the casino. After the following gamble on the table, Sun Hong was found cheating on the gambling, so that small team leader under me tied up the both of them. Originally, according to the casino's customs, they should call and inform their families to get ransom money. But since this team leader of mine saw that Sun Hong is beautiful, he wanted her to accompany him for half a month, which she agreed to. However, that Zhang Yongjin didn't have such a good luck as he was tied up in the casino's room and left starving for 2 days. The reason as to why I went to northern Jiangsu 2 days ago was because an old friend of mine from Great Northwest came looking for me to talk about the old days. It happened that this old friend of mine also likes to gamble once in a while, so I accompanied him to this casino. Eventually, I found this matter by chance and felt that this Zhang Yongjin name was somewhat familiar. At that time, I didn't take it seriously. Only later did I hear that he comes from a rich and respected family from Star City, so I immediately acted afterward. Xiaomingzhen spoke happily whilst taking out a cigarette from its pack and lit it up. Then, he continued with a smile, We've been searching for him in Star City as well as in nearby cities for quite a long time. And not even a trace of him could we found. To think that he turned out to be hiding in my turf and happened to fall into such a pit. Well, Brother Tang, since I've found the person you're looking for, it's your call what to do with him. Kill him. Tang Xiu said without hesitation. Okay. And that Sun Hong woman? Xiaomingzhen nodded and asked. Have you clearly investigated her? What's the relationship between her and Zhang Yongjin? Tang Xiu asked. I've ascertained that. Sun Hong is a widow and was Zhang Deqin's classmate. She's still a good sister of hers until now. The reason as to why Zhang Yongjin went to northern Jiangsu was to seek asylum with Sun Hong. Seeking asylum? Tang Xiu asked with a puzzled expression. Xiaomingzhen said with a smile, Hey, it was you who frightened them. You're the one who killed those 3 hitmen. Zhang Deqin is scared the hell out of it. Since she's afraid of your revenge, she sent her younger brother to her good sister in northern Jiangsu. But anyway, this Sun Hong is not a pure and chaste woman. She also slept with Zhang Yongjin when he took shelter with her there. Then kill her also. I don't want this matter to be spread out. Tang Shou said. Xiaomingzhen nodded as he took out his mobile and dialed a number. After giving some commands, he hung up the phone and then said, by the way, when I was on the way to Star City, I called Brother Miao and he told me that the plan here is almost finished. Yes. The Zhangs have been snared into the trap and it will be too late for them if they want to withdraw. Long Hanwen and Miao Wendong indeed want to finish things off. However, I don't have much knowledge with business matters, though, as I'm only responsible to send people to capture those high-level clansmen of the Zhangs. Xiaomingzhen narrowed his eyes. Along with a glint that flashed from them, he spoke with a deep tone, I also have sent my men to keep an eye on them. They're ready to move at any time. Anyways, the Zhang family has a lot of industries, one of which are entertainment venues. The Ouyang family and you are in this business field, so it's up to the both of you to share them. Tang Shou said with a smile. I don't want to take over Star City, just give them to Ouyang family. Xiaomingzhen said with a light laugh. 2 days later. As per order from the project's chief in charge, Kang Xia, a comprehensive attack was carried out on the Zhang's businesses. In particular, some people were arranged in advance to start making troubles for the housing quality in real estate business. At the same time, all the entertainment venues belonging to the Zhangs were also troubled with foreign staff's issues. Furthermore, many employees from the Zhang group also left all of a sudden. In addition, a lot of bad deeds done by the top executives of the Zhang family in the past were also reported. Even the Public Security Bureau was also involved in the investigation. The news on the internet was overwhelming, discrediting the Zhang family, erupting in major forums as the news then was passed around at an overwhelming speed across the country. At the Zhang Group's HQ. Inside the general manager's office, after the series of attacking, getting scorched by the flames and badly battered, green veins protruded on Zhang Fengxian's forehead as his face reddened with rage. He brutally smashed several quilts as he looked as though a wolf towards several top leaders in front of him, shouting, Who the hell can tell me what's going on? Who's aiming at my Zhang family? Who's targeting my Zhang group? Several top leaders could only lower their heads, afraid, and didn't utter even a word. They didn't know. It was the general findings between them. The situation developed and changed too quickly. It was as if everything had been prepared in advance. The Zhang Group's real estate business, several branch offices, as well as other running business, all of them were blocked on the same day. Major business partners contacted and informed them that they cut off all of their cooperation in the future. The news was as though the falling snowflakes, catching them unprepared. Knock, knock. At the moment, the office's door was knocked as Zhang Deqin strode inside. Looking at her furious father, Zhang Fengxian, her complexion turned ashen as she quickly said, Dad, the bank has just called. They want us to repay the due loan that has expired. Previously, the President Liu had agreed for the delayed payment, but now. Zhang Fengxian's breath paused as a hard-to-believe glint flashed from his eyes. He had an excellent personal relationship with President Liu. The number of loans from others couldn't be compared with his Zhang group. Why did he also? Zhang Fengxian grabbed his mobile and dialed President Liu's number. After a long while, his call was connected as a low and deep voice then came out. Hello, Liu Changjian speaking. Upon hearing his tone, the bad premonition inside Zhang Fengxian's heart grew more intense. He took a deep breath and tried hard to calm down as he replied, Brother Liu, what happened? I just heard from my daughter, Deqin, that our loan must be repaid as fast as possible. Haven't we brothers had an agreement before? That we have 6 months to return the loan along with all the interests? Brother Zhang, to tell you the truth, this is an order from above, so my hands are also tied. Therefore, your Zhang family must pay back the money as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'll really be in a tight situation. A voice with a dry and wry tone came out of the phone. Brother Liu, I believe you also heard that I've just invested in a huge project recently, so a huge number of my funds has been injected into it. Can you help me find a solution? As long as the project run on the right track, I'll immediately return the bank loan. Besides, I'll also double what I promised you before. Zhang Fengxian said. Brother Zhang, it's not that I don't want it. But I really can do nothing about it. Oh, right. I'll have to take care of another matter, so let's end our chat here. I hope you can return the money before the end of this month. Upon hearing the mute ending call sound, an alarmed and scared expression could be seen on Zhang Fengxian's expression. He could tell that there was absolutely a problem with the bank. Even if he gave more benefits to President Liu, the loan perhaps could never be delayed any further. However, he was not afraid, because he still had nearly 5 billion at hand that was still unused. Much less that he still had another 4 billion from the Hu and Shui families. At present, what he really wanted to know was figure out exactly what forces were against his Zhang family. Could it be the Long family? Zhang Fengxian frowned. Just as he was about to call Long Hanwen, his mobile phone suddenly rang. Kong Xia. Zhang Fengxian's heart moved as he immediately pressed the answer button and spoke with a deep tone, Zhang Fengxian here. Chief Kong, is there something up? Kong Xia's cold and detached voice came out of the phone. Boss Zhang, the director of property department in our project is your second brother, Zhang Fengming, isn't he? A bad premonition gushed again inside Zhang Fengxian's heart as he quickly asked, yes, Zhang Fengming is indeed my second younger brother. Why is Chief Kong asking about this matter all of a sudden? Yesterday, several key staffs of the finance department who are Zhang Fengming's associates, a total 5 of them, have transferred all the money in our collective account to a Swiss bank account. All of them now have disappeared without a trace. I suspect they have absconded the money and run away. I also have reported this to the police. But I wonder, do your Zhang family want to keep that 1 to 2 billion yuan to yourselves? Kong Xia said coldly. What? Zhang Fengxian's body shook, even his eyes almost popped out. Fear invaded his heart. Zhang Fengming? Why did he dare to do that? Zhang Fengxian's body crooked as he sat down in the boss chair, paralyzed. Suddenly, he quickly grabbed the phone and dialed Zhang Fengming's private number. But he only heard a notification that his phone had been shut down. Chapter 202, The Ending. Looking at the frightened expression on Zhang Fengxian's face, Zhang Deqin hurriedly came at his side and asked, Dad, what happened? Zhang Fengxian struggled to look up. As he looked at Zhang Deqin's nervous expression, his lips creeped out a few times as he said with a bitter tone, Kong Xia just called me. She said that your second uncle absconded 1 to 2 billion funds from the collective account. All of the money has been transferred to a Swiss bank account. And now, he and several staffs of the finance department ran away. Kong Xia accused me as the one who gave the order behind this facade and reported this to the police. What? Zhang Deqin was so scared that even her legs felt numb and almost fell to the floor. The sky collapsed. She was very well aware that if her second uncle really did that, it would only mean that their Zhang family was as good as finished. Either the Long or Ouyang family, they definitely would never let the Zhang family go. No. It's not right. Although her heart was full of fear, however, she wasn't scared silly because of that. Her eyes stared tightly at Zhang Fengxian and spoke with a deep tone, Dad, I believe there's no way in hell second uncle would do this. Everything is machinated and definitely a conspiracy. I suspect that the ones who schemed against us are not only the Long family but also the Ouyang. I even dare say that Kong Xia herself is also involved in this conspiracy. Thus, they also must be the one who transferred the money. And second uncle, perhaps he has encountered an unexpected accident. Upon hearing this, Zhang Fengxian's face suddenly changed greatly. He suddenly jumped up from his chair and immediately shouted, "Quickly contact Long Hanwen. Tell him I want to see him, now." "Yes." The young secretary immediately answered. Shortly after, the young secretary said, "Boss, Long Hanwen is at the Long's dining hall. He said that he's currently accompanying a few important guests, so he doesn't have time to see you. If you really have an urgent matter, he said to go to the Long's dining hall." Zhang Fengxian gripped his fists tightly. In this split moment, he was sure that everything was set up by the Long and Ouyang families, whereas his Zhang family was the sole target of their machinations. Everything that happened now was definitely their conspiracy. "Prepare the car to the Long's dining hall." After Zhang Fengxian figured out everything, a murderous intent to kill Long Hanwen and Ouyang Lei gushed out inside his heart, as he immediately called out. Zhang Deqin quickly followed him and exclaimed, "I'll go with you, Dad." A few minutes later, 3 cars quickly drove off from the Zhang Group HQ's underground parking lot and traveled toward Long's dining hall. Inside a dozen-storied building at the opposite side of the Zhang Group's HQ, a tall and sturdy man holding a binocular was observing the Zhang Group's HQ's underground parking lot's exit. After he confirmed the license plate, he immediately grabbed his phone and dialed a number. "The snake is out of the hole, be prepared to commence the follow-up plan." "Roger that." 10 minutes later. There were only a few cars on the road, but there was a traffic accident which blocked the 3 cars' path. Zhang Fengxian, who was sitting in the middle seat of the Mercedes-Benz, frowned and said, "Go there and take a look, tell them to make way and open the road." "Understood." The young secretary who was sitting on the co-pilot seat complied as he opened the door and got off. After several seconds, 6 vans which were on the 3 lanes of the roads drove fast as braking sounds hurriedly sounded, disgorging a dozen or so big men who quickly rushed out and surrounded the 3 cars in extremely fast movements. The cars' doors were pulled open as they grasped 6 to 7 people from the inside. Zhang Fengxian's pupils contracted. Whilst facing the tall and burly man who pulled out his collar, he struggled and shouted loudly, "Who the hell are you?" "I'm Zhang Fengxian, the boss of the Zhang Group. Do you know the consequences of offending me? Let me go. Let me go." Bang. A fist fiercely punched out and directly hit his forehead, causing him to faint. Zhang Deqin was also stunned by another big guy as the latter directly held her and dragged her into the van. At the same time, in other 8 places, another 8 important clansmen of the Zhangs were also captured by mysterious big guys lightning fast. They moved extremely fast and chose extremely hidden places, so nobody noticed them. At South Gate Town. Tang Xiu put down his phone as the ruthless glint in his eyes faded away gradually. A total of 12 high-level clansmen of the Zhang family had been captured. In addition, 9 more people, the staffs who were working in Zhang Group, also had been grasped and were hidden in a safe place. The call just now was from Long Hanwen, asking him as how to deal with these people. If it were according to his previous style, he would naturally kill all of them. However, the Zhang family was, after all, a well-respected family in Star City, and there are a lot of people who pay attention to them. It would be inevitable that numerous forces would pay attention to such big happenings. If the news that a large number of their families' corpses were to be reported in the headline news, this incident would be very difficult to end. Furthermore, this matter had yet to conclude. When the Zhang Group had been annexed, then, it would be the perfect time to deal with the high-level clansmen of the Zhangs. Tang Xiu left his villa and came to the property management office. After he met with Long Shuiyao, he said, "Could you take me to Lakeview Manor? I have no car, so it's inconvenient to go out. Is it very urgent? If not, please wait for a while. I still have things to deal with. Wait until I take care of a few things, then I'll speak with you again." Long Shuiyao said with a smile. Tang Xiu nodded. He was no stranger to the property management office. After he came to the rest area, the staff of the office sent him a hot tea enthusiastically, whereas he Himself was thinking as for how to deal with the Zhangs and what he needed to do afterward. The college entrance test would soon be releasing the scores. He wasn't worried about his performance. But now, he needed to think about what school to enroll. The Blue City University was a good choice. It was located in the provincial capital and was also one of the top universities in the country. However, Tang Xiu also thought that Shanghai University was also a good one. Shanghai was the most developed city in the country and had good transportation means. It would be very easy for him to go abroad as he didn't need to transit from Star City or other places to Shanghai. The island he had purchased was in the Pacific Ocean and he hadn't seen it yet. After he finished registering, he planned to take a trip there. Although he had no money currently, which meant that he had no means to rebuild the island. However, he still had to go there in advance and make some arrangements as well as find some people to take care of it. Ring, ring. His mobile phone's ringtone sounded, abruptly interrupting his train of thought. Tang Xiu took out his mobile. As he looked at the caller ID and found that it was Mu Qingping, he immediately received the call and asked, "Big sis Mu, is there something?" "Your mother is here, at home." "I see. I'll be back right away." After ending the call, he looked at Long Shueyao, who was still busy. He didn't greet her and directly walked toward his villa. Inside, he saw Mu Qingping chatting with his mother. "Hi, Mom." Tang Xiu smiled as he greeted her. Seeing Tang Xiu, Su Lingyun's eyes suddenly brightened up as she said with a smile, "Xiu, tomorrow is the day for applying and registering to university, isn't it? Mom came this time to ask you. Have you picked a university yet?" "Not yet, Mom. I haven't thought it through." Tang Xiu shook his head and answered. Upon hearing this, Su Lingyun suddenly said anxiously, "How so?" "The application must be filled out tomorrow. If you haven't thought it well, then you'll only waste time. Tell Mom which university you want to enter. Have you thought about the university which your college entrance test results can pass its passing grade?" "Mom, I can guarantee that my scores can pass any university's passing grade in the country. If you really want to know, I have two choices now. The first one is the Blue City University in our provincial capital. The reason I picked it is that it's in our province as well as quite close to Star City and you. So if you don't want to leave your restaurant business, I can always come back here to see you at any time. The other one is Shanghai University. Shanghai has the fastest economic development as well as is the most prosperous city. By studying there, I'll have more convenient means of transportation to the outside world in the future." Tang Xiu said. Su Lingyun's eyes turned a bit nervous before she asked, Have you considered entering Beijing University?" "I did, but I don't want to go there." Tang Xiu shook his head and answered. Upon hearing his answer, Su Lingyun suddenly relaxed as a smile reappeared on her face. Then, she said with a smile, "Although Beijing is our country's capital, if you go study there, you'll be bound to face fast rhythm and high pressure after you've graduated. So Mom thought that you should go to Shanghai." Tang Xiu's brows slightly pricked. Fast pace and high pressure? This kind of situation is indeed the case with Beijing, but isn't Shanghai also the same? Mom seemed to not want me to go to Beijing. And the way she spoke before, she seemed to be very anxious, especially when she spoke about Beijing. Is there a secret here? Tang Xiu probed out, "Mom, if I were to choose study in Beijing, will you not object to it?" This, Su Lingyun hesitated. Tang Xiu's eyes slightly narrowed before he returned to normal. Then, he said with a smile, "I'm kidding you, Mom. Even if you let me go to Beijing, I won't go there either." "So be it then. If you're willing to close your restaurant and go with me to Shanghai, then I'll fill the application to enroll Shanghai University. If you're not willing to, then I'll apply for the Blue City University." Su Lingyun quickly said, "Xiu, our restaurant business is very flourishing at present. So it's kinda a pity to close down the business for now. You needn't mind me about this." Star City is, after all, our home. I'll be staying here and you will apply to Shanghai University. After all, the institution is a first-class university. So you need to study well there, so you'll certainly become more skillful in the future. Besides, the transportation means are very developed nowadays, so if mom misses you, I also can visit you there at any time. You can also come home on Sunday or other holidays. For a moment, Tang Xiu was silent, as then he slowly nodded and said, "All right, I'll listen to you, Mom. However, I'll buy a property in Shanghai nearby Shanghai University, so if you're bored in Star City, you can go and stay there for a while. In addition, you also have to move to this villa after I go to Shanghai University. Such a big villa surely cannot be left empty. Okay, if your college entrance test grades can pass Shanghai University, I'll come and live here," Su Lingyun said with a smile. "It's a deal, Mom." Tang Xiu finally made up his mind, causing his mood to be very good as replied with a smile. Chapter 203, The Mastermind Behind the Scenes. Tang Xiu's eyes moved to Mu Qingping as he said, "Big sis Mu, there are 2 dirty clothes yet to be washed in my room. Could you help me wash it?" Mu Qingping's eyes flashed, reflecting her understanding. She said with a smile, "All right. The 2 of you talk while I'll go wash the clothes." After Mu Qingping left, Tang Xiu's gaze landed on his mother. The smile on his face slowly faded away and his expression became more serious. He said, "Mom, I've made up my mind, there should be no more secrets between us. I'll tell you my secret, but you must also tell me yours." "What?" Su Lingyun asked with a puzzled expression. "Well, I've spent some money to buy a private island in the Pacific Ocean. I'm going to make it a paradise in the future so you can go there if you're bored with life outside." "Huh? A private island? Xiu, how much money did you spend on it?" Su Lingyun asked with a disbelieving expression. Tang Xiu said with a matter-of-factly manner, 2.5 billion. Hiss. Despite knowing that her son also had several hundred million in properties, Su Lingyun still couldn't help but inhale a deep, cold breath upon hearing the sum. "Originally, I borrowed the money, but because of some reasons afterward, I made a lot of money and had paid it back. So you don't need to worry about the origin of the money. It's not a dirty one," Tang Xiu explained. Su Lingyun was still absent-minded and said, "Xiu, you." Tang Xiu's eyes suddenly turned ablaze as he quickly asked, "Mom, I've told you my secret. And we, mother and son, should have no secret between each other. Can you tell why you don't want me to study in Beijing?" As though in a trance, Su Lingyun blurted out, "That's because your father's family is." She abruptly stopped speaking. Her face instantly turned pale as though a wax paper. Tang Xiu's eyes turned cold. "Father? What a strange word." He did ask his mother about his father when he was small for many times. However, not even an answer could he get. As he grew older, he gradually became sensible and thoughtful to never ask about it again. He knew that each and every time he asked about it, his mother would look very pained. And on some occasions, he had seen his mother hold the yellowish, black and white photo whilst wiping her tears secretly. He never knew whether that man was dead or alive, neither did he care about it whatsoever. Such a man who never raised his son ever since he had been born, never deserved to be a father. Sighing inside his heart, Tang Xiu came over as he sat next to Su Lingyun. He smiled, pulling her hands. He said, "Mom, I know clearly about the answer, so you don't have to say more. You need not worry though. I'll fill the application to apply tomorrow and I'll go study in Shanghai. Besides, I'm already a man and I have the ability to look after you. I only hope that you can be healthy, having a good and fortunate life in the future." Tears overflowed from Su Lingyun's eyes as she repeatedly nodded. Shortly after, Tang Xiu accompanied his mother as they chatted for a while. After Mu Qingping came back to the living room, then, he gave the task of accompanying her to Mu Qingping and left his home alone. He then went again to the property management office. Meanwhile, Long Shuiyao also had almost finished her work. Ready to go? Wearing a decent professional attire, Long Shuiyao asked whilst smiling. Okay, Lakeview Manor. Tang Shou said. What are you gonna do there? That place has quite a strict and high threshold. You can't go there if you don't book the seats in advance. With an astonished expression, Long Shuiyao asked. Long Hanwen is waiting for me there. My uncle? Since when did you have a good relationship with him? Long Shuiyao was surprised. Tang Shou said with a smile, there are a lot of things you don't know. Anyways, no need to ask that much. Let's just go. I'm in a hurry. Long Shuiyao gave Tang Shou charming white eyes. Driving her sports car, she took Tang Shou out of Southgate Town quickly. As they arrived at Lakeview Manor, she wasn't stopped and directly allowed to enter. She was clearly a regular patron here. After getting out from the Lakeview Manor's parking lot, Tang Shou said, well, your mission has been accomplished, but I still have things to do, so you can go back first. Wait. I have something to tell you. Long Shuiyao quickly said. Tang Shou reluctantly replied, all the way here you just idled, why didn't you talk about it before? Fine. What's up? Long Shuiyao snapped humorlessly, hey, it's not like I'm here for you, you know. It's the driving school principal. He asked me when will you go there. An exam for the next batch of students is only a few days away. He can let you attend it ahead of schedule, but on the premise that you need to be adept and familiar with the car to try it out. Tang Shou immediately realized as he said with a smile, okay. Tell the driving school principal I'll go there tomorrow. All right. If you can attend the test a few days later, the driving school principal will arrange you in it in advance. You only need to try and fill your documents when the time comes, and then wait to take your driving license. Said Long Shuiyao with a smile. How long will it take to get this driver's license? Tang Shou asked. Well, it should at the most half a month, you'll definitely get your driver's license. All right. After saying that, Tang Shou turned around and rushed to the appointed place with Long Hanwen. Standing before the car's door, Long Shuiyao looked at Tang Shou back with an irritated expression whilst muttering, this fellow really doesn't have any courtesy at all. I've contacted some people to get his driver's license, but he didn't say even a word of thanks. 10 meters away. Tang Shou suddenly stopped as he turned around and said, Long Shuiyao, thanks a bunch. Huh? Long Shuiyao's expression dulled as a weird expression then suddenly appeared on her beautiful face. Could it be that he heard what I just said? But it's impossible. My voice was very low and it was more than 10 meters away. Unless he's a person who can hear from that far away, there's no way he can hear it. Long Shuiyao comforted herself, and then facing Tang Shou, she waved her arm before she immediately drilled into the driver's seat, started her car and quickly left. Whilst looking at the disappearing car, a smile outlined on Tang Shou's mouth. He indeed just heard Long Shuiyao's muttering. His hearing was, after all, very sharp. Average people might be unable to hear it, but it was not difficult for him. Inside a tea house in the deepest part of Lakeview Manor. Long Hanwen, Chen Zhizhong, Kong Xia, Miao Wendong, Xiao Mingjin, Ouyang Lei, Chu Yi, Bai Tao, Long Zhengyu and some others had gathered. The strike against the Zhangs had now nearly ended. This time, everyone came in preparation for the distribution of the benefits they obtained from the Zhang family. From the calculations, they found that the Zhang family indeed had a deep foundation. For the total assets they had truly surpassed more than 20 billion yuan. I apologize, something was up and got me delayed. After Tang Shou arrived, everyone's attention immediately attracted to him. Long Hanwen said with a smile, no problem. Anyway, the things we should do have been done. Now it's the time for the finishing touch. Tang Shou, as far I know, you have to fill in the registration to apply for your schooling tomorrow, don't you? Have you thought which university you're going to register? Shanghai University. Tang Xiu said with a pale smile. That's indeed one of the best universities. Considering your character, I believe you have full confidence since you dare to apply for this university. Come on, I'll toast to you with my tea on behalf of the wine. I wish you congratulations in advance for getting into the higher education and further your studies. May your dream come true. Come, let's toast. Miao Wentong also stood up, all smiling as he said. At this moment, everyone's mood was very good. This time, had it been not for Tang Xiu, they wouldn't have been able to make such a huge amount of money. With 20 billion, even if it were to be divided into many forces, each party would still have a share of billions of yuan. Billions. Even though each and everyone here also came from a big family, rich and powerful people, however, even if they spent 8 to 10 years, such an amount was only something that could be done within 8 to 10 years. After the cup of tea had been drunk up, Long Hanwen looked at Tang Xiu with a pensive expression when he asked, "The Zhangs have been doomed to collapse, so now we're carving up their properties. Tang Xiu, since the Zhang's clansmen have been grasped by us, it's your call how to deal with them. Zhang Deqin and Zhang Fengxian have to die, no doubt. However, I haven't thought well about the others aside from them. Anyways, where are they? I'll go see them now." Shaking his head, Tang Xiu replied. "I've sent some people to bring them here, and now, they are being locked in the Longhu Villa's underground secret chamber." Long Hanwen said. Tang Xiu nodded as he looked at Kong Xia and said, "As for how to divide the money, you discuss it with them. Furthermore, aside from the 200 million money I used to buy the information, take all the remaining money you have and invest it into the preparation for this big project." After having said that, led by Long Zhangyu, he quickly rushed to the underground chamber of Longhu Villa. Inside the underground chamber, of all 21 family members of the Zhangs that were tied, all were important high officials of the family, all of whom had fallen into silence. Even though they suspected who were the ones who sent people to tie them up, however, since they had yet to see the mastermind, they also didn't dare to determine it. Creak. The door to the underground chamber was pushed open, with 4 big men with knives entering the chamber with grim expressions. "Who are you, people?" Zhang Deqin's hands and feet were tied up. She was sitting and leaning on the wall in the corner and shouted loudly. "I'll tell you." Tang Xiu entered through the door and looked at the angered Zhang Deqin. His expression was cold and detached. However, Long Zhangyu, who followed him behind, was holding his arms with an expression as though he was looking at a good show. "It's you." Zhang Deqin's pupil contracted as she screamed out. Zhang Fengxian frowned and coldly looked at Long Zhangyu before his vision landed on Tang Xiu. After he stared at him for a few times, only then did he turn his head and shouted, "Deqin, you know him?" Tang Xiu looked at the strong and muscular man to move a chair. After he sat on it, he lifted up his leg on top of the other and said with a smile, "She knows me, of course. That's for sure. I'm afraid that even if I've turned into ashes, she will still know me. Isn't that right, Miss Zhang?" A frightened expression was revealed on Zhang Deqin's eyes. The moment Tang Xiu appeared, she knew she was finished. She had witnessed how ruthless he was, even the 3 hitmen also died in his hands. Such a person would never let her go. "So, now you know what's being scared shitless, do you? Initially, I had forgiven you and your younger brother. But you unexpectedly dared to hire foreign hitmen to kill me. Solely just because of your unreasonable hatred toward me, is enough for you, siblings, to go see the King of Hell." Chapter 204, Psychological Torture. Zhang Deqin shivered. The panicked expression in her eyes turned more intense as her voice became more and more high-pitched as she screamed out, "Tang Xiu. Did you kill my brother? Zhang Yongjin truly has bad luck. Yes, he indeed has died. But he's not alone, for your good sister also accompanied him. Worry not though, you'll soon be able to see him. I'll even let the whole lot of your family be reunited in the netherworld. Tang Xiu said with a smile. Large drops of tears fell down from Zhang Deqin's eyes as she staunchly stared at Tang Xiu, screaming with a piercing miserable howl, "Why? You damn bastard! Why the fuck did you kill my brother? If you got the guts, why didn't you kill me? You fucking bastard! Curse whatever you want while you still can. Let all the resentments inside your heart come out. Otherwise, you'll turn into an evil spirit after you die, and you won't be able to be reincarnated forever." Tang Xiu mocked. Zhang Fengxian and the other members of the Zhang family who had been listening to Tang Xiu and Zhang Deqin's conversation, finally came to a realization at the moment as to whom was the mastermind behind the scenes that abducted them all. The young man in front of them turned out to be the culprit who even wanted to ruin their Zhang family. They even heard that there was such a deep hatred between Zhang Deqin with this young man. Looking at Tang Xiu with a desperate expression, Zhang Fengxian turned his head and chided, "You bastard. Tell me, what's really happened? Why did you and your younger brother have this hatred with him?" Zhang Deqin's eyes abruptly stopped chiding after getting scolded, but despair had already shrouded her eyes. Tang Xiu sneered, "Masters from all school of thought said that all fetus would be born with skills to live. And it seems that giving birth to children is also a life skill in itself. You're Zhang Fengxian, yes? I've read the information from the investigation with your picture on it. It says that you're a smart and astute man. But how come you gave birth to such idiotic children? Your children, except literally able to court disasters to your family, what other uses could they have? Did you really kill my son?" Zhang Fengxian shouted angrily. "I did. And his death should have been very miserable," Tang Xiu answered. Zhang Fengxian painfully gripped his fists tightly. But then, he released them as he glared straight at Tang Xiu and said, "Tell me how deep the hatred you have for them to even drive you to exterminate the entire Zhang family. Your treasured children truly have done some good deeds. They even spent money to hire foreign hitmen and sneak them into the country only to kill me. You should have heard about the 3 people killed outside Southgate town, yes? Those assassins were the ones hired by your children. It's just a pity that they were too weak. With such a trashy strength, instead of them killing me, it was me who killed them personally," Tang Xiu said grimly. Zhang Fengxian was shocked and said, "So you're the one who murdered those people outside Southgate town? To think it's connected to my Zhang family, it looks like that you're right. I did birth a pair of children who bring calamity. To tell you the truth, I did consider as for how to solve this problem with your family. But since I've told you everything, I don't want any unnecessary troubles in the future, for which all of you can no longer live. Zhang Yu, tell your men to kill all of them and throw them in the sea." Tang Xiu sneered. "Worry not, brother. My dad has properly arranged it in advance, so we're ready to throw their corpses in international waters," Long Zhengyu said with a smile. Zhang Fengxian watched Long Zhengyu deeply as he said with a bitter expression, "I truly have never thought that your Long family found such a good helper. Your father ordered him and made him an enemy of my Zhang's just to drive us out of Star City? Those 3 assassins were but a turning point, wasn't it? But what I don't get is how your family can achieve this. To achieve this is highly improbable even if you join forces with the Ouyang's." Long Zhengyu laughed involuntarily. "Zhang Fengxian, do you really think that the main mastermind in this is my Long family? Do you think my family is really that powerful to pit against your Zhang family that have been rooted in Star City for so many years? Then, who is it?" Zhang Fengxian stared blankly for a moment before he asked with a confused expression. Pointing at Tang Xiu, Long Zhengyu replied with a chuckle, "Even if your Zhang family have thousands of people, you shouldn't have provoked this person, him. But now, since we've reached this far, I'll let you die in content. Do you know how many forces have acted against your family?" "How many?" Zhang Fengxian asked. Long Zhengyu replied with a smile, first is my Long family. Second, his apprentice, Chen Zhizhong. Third, the Jingmen Islands Ouyang family. Fourth, Miao Wendong from Haiqing. Fifth, Xiao Mingzhen from northern Jiangsu. Sixth and seventh, Chu and Bai families from Beijing. And there's also the eighth one. Zhang Fengxian's complexion turned deathly pale as a layer of fear glittered in his eyes. Upon hearing so many forces from Long Zhengyu, he knew that his Zhang family was doomed. With shivering lips and disbelief, he looked at Long Zhengyu and asked with a trembling voice, "Who's the eighth one?" Long Zhengyu pointed at Tang Xiu and said with a chuckle, "The magnificent Tang Corporation, which is his own company." "I'm afraid you would never expect that Kong Xia's boss turns out to be him, would you?" "What?" This time, more shouts followed Zhang Fengxian, even Zhang Deqin, who wore fear all over her face, as well as the top leadership and other members of the Zhang family, were shocked. Kong Xia unexpectedly worked for Tang Xiu? The secret big boss of the magnificent Tang Corporation turned out to be Tang Xiu? Who was he? What and how was he able to make Kong Xia willingly work for him? Zhang Fengxian quivered. All these forces involved in this machination, are all because of him? Yes, it's all because of Tang Xiu. Had it been me or someone else, we simply wouldn't be able to rally so many forces to deal with your Zhang family. Zhang Yu, why are you saying so much nonsense? They're already dead. Kill them quickly and annex their assets as fast as possible so everyone can go back to their own business. Besides, I have a lot of things to do and I'm too lazy to spend more time and worry about this small Zhang family. Small Zhang family? The complexion of each and every member of the Zhang family turned into dying embers whilst fear engulfed their innermost feelings. Suddenly, one of the Zhang family members looked up. His eyes stared at Tang Xiu and asked anxiously, "Mr. Tang, there's a misunderstanding between us. The ones who wanted to harm you are Zhang Deqin and her younger brother. Even their father didn't know about this. I know him. If he knew it, he would have prevented the siblings, absolutely. You cannot blame others who know nothing. We didn't participate in it, neither have we any grudges with you. Could you let us go? If you want to take over all the assets of the Zhang family, then take them. I also have money I've saved for many years. I can give you all." Another one also quickly said, "I also have money. I'm willing to give all of it to buy my life. Don't kill us. If our Zhang family collapses, we will also become poor and penniless people, and certainly will hide from you to a faraway place. We might never see each other again. If you want to vent your anger and hatred, just kill Zhang Deqin. She's the culprit, and the one who must die. You." Zhang Deqin looked at her two kin with disbelief. One of whom was her uncle and the other was her aunt. She never dreamt they would betray their own niece only save their own lives. Zhang Fengxian could only look at his own younger brother and sister painfully. He was so distressed he nearly stopped breathing. However, he also didn't want to die. He wanted to go on living. His son had died. If he also died, then he would die without heirs. Zhang Fengxian's eyes slowly turned crimson. He stared at Zhang Deqin fiercely as he turned his head and spoke full of solemnness, "Tang Xiu, the heavenly orders turn and cycle whereas karma has its own retributive justice. Zhang Deqin is my daughter, and it's her mistake in hiring assassins to kill you. You should think it as her fate for the failure and defeat. This is the so-called a person must be held responsible for their own deeds. You have ruined our Zhang family, and if your anger has yet to be vented, then kill her. But as for the others, I hope you can let us go. We'll leave Star City and go to faraway places. We'll never meet you again in the future. Dad." Zhang Deqin's blood boiled as she crazily spurted out a mouthful of blood. She didn't wipe the blood around her mouth and only looked at her father with disbelief. She could understand if her uncle and aunt gave her up and used her as a shield, for she knew that they were selfish, to begin with. But Zhang Fengxian was her father. It was said that even a tiger wouldn't kill its own cubs, but he actually wanted her to die for him to keep his own life? The despair made her so distressed, it was hard for her to breathe. Suddenly, she felt a deep sorrow, the sudden sadness of having such family members. They were afraid of dying, coveted life, and knew no shame. As afraid as she was of dying, Zhang Diqin was perfectly well aware that she was without a doubt in a situation that she must die. Her hatred for her family was so intense it even made her instantly flare up as she bellowed, "Tang Xiu, I'll die. But I tell you, the people who want to kill you is not only me, but also them. They wanted to kill you when you helped the Long family win the Walled Hill village. I don't have much ability, neither can I contact assassins from abroad. It was them who told me the contact information and instigated me to find people to kill you. Bastard, you're talking rubbish. This is pure slander. You're talking shit, shameless. You're so fucking damned." The complexion of each and every one of the Zhangs greatly changed and went pale, angry with Zhang Diqin's roar. Zhang Fengxian himself didn't utter any words but looked at his daughter with a cold and detached expression. Tang Xiu looked at the dog-eat-dog situation of the Zhang family members as he shook his head with a cold expression. Never had he expected that such a situation would emerge. It was to the point that his intention to completely exterminate all the core clansmen of the Zhangs grew more intense. "Zhang Yu, you take care of this. Rest assured. I'll absolutely handle it perfectly. I'll leave nothing that can create disasters later," Long Zhengyu said with a smile. "Wait." Zhang Fengxian growled. "You still have anything to spit out?" Tang Xiu stopped as he looked at Zhang Fengxian and asked. Zhang Fengxian took a deep breath and spoke with a deep tone, "Tang Xiu, let us live. I'll give you a huge sum of money." Tang Xiu was indeed short of money, but he had no intention to let Zhang Fengxian go. But he also had no problem squeezing money from people who were about to die. With an expression full of interest, he asked, "Tell me, how much do you value your life?" 3 billion. I'm willing to buy our lives with 3 billion yuan. This is the remaining money I have in my possession. Aside from me, nobody from my family knows about this. As long as you're willing to let us go, the 3 billion is yours. Zhang Fengxian spoke with all seriousness. Chapter 205, Sensation. Tang Xiu was startled. He didn't expect that Zhang Fengxian would still have so much money. After thinking for a moment, he looked at Long Zhengyu and said, "Collect the money and release them." "Do you really want to let them go?" Long Zhengyu looked distracted for a moment and hesitated. "Yes," Tang Xiu said with a firm expression. "You're not afraid that it will leave trouble for the future, letting the tigers loose in the mountain?" Long Zhengyu asked with a helpless expression. Tang Xiu sneered, "Are they tigers? If they still dare to offend me, let alone in China, even if they fled to any country abroad, I have means to track them and make them unable to beg for their lives." The Zhang family kinsmen were struck with cold sweat down their spines as each and every one of them lowered their heads and didn't utter a word. At this moment, Tang Xiu motioned Long Zhengyu and then turned to leave the chamber. After returning to the tea house, Tang Xiu's gaze swept over at everyone who looked at him and said with a faint smile, "Well, we've gotten quite a harvest. Zhang Fengxian is willing to buy his entire family with another 3 billion. You agree to it?" Long Hanwen asked. "Why should I? But, we'll get the money first, and after we get it we'll discuss it later, whereas Zhang Yu stays there to take care of it. Anyone has any idea to completely uproot the Zhang family but keep those important members of the Zhangs alive?" "I have a way," Xiao Mingzhen said. "What is it?" Tang Xiu's expression moved and asked. "Let them kill the other members of their own family. and then find ways to send them as well as their family members abroad. Although we'll be the ones who persecuted them to kill their own people, they also won't be able to avoid the responsibility. When the time comes, they will keep their own mouths shut in this matter. Furthermore, since they're not in the country, they won't be able to create any storm either. Let me take care of this, you can be sure that it will be completed. Xiao Mingjin sneered. If so, do it. Tang Xiu nodded. The next day, Tang Xiu left Southgate Town and took a cab to Star City First High School. Today was the day to fill the application to register to a university, so he naturally wouldn't miss it. Furthermore, he also had decided the school he would enter and only needed to go there and fill the application. Then, he could go home and wait for his test score to come out. Flashing news, the Zhang Group suddenly collapsed along with the disappearance of a group of their top executives. Rumor has it that the Long Group, the Ouyang Group, and the magnificent Tang Corporation issued a joint statement that a senior executive of the Zhang Group, Zhang Fengming, was found stealing from these three major corporations, worth of tens of billions yuan of funds, which were soon to be used in the A Paradise on Earth project. Being afraid of the repercussion, the suspect has fled. A news came out from the radio in the taxi. The cab's driver was a young man. After hearing the broadcast content, he turned his head to glance at Tang Xiu, who sat on the co-pilot seat, and exclaimed, "This truly fulfills the saying that humans will die for riches, just as birds will for food." The Zhang Group is a major enterprise and has a lot of assets, but even their top management executives are unexpectedly greedy to steal the project funds and run away. They're truly depraved and starved people, just like snakes wanting to swallow an elephant. I dare say there should be someone from the Zhang family pulling the strings since they also disappeared, no? It's an ironclad truth that they must be running away together. Without being salty nor cynical, Tang Xiu replied back, "Well, let's just say that you can find all sorts of birds in the forest." The young driver patted the steering wheel and said approvingly, "True enough. This time, the Zhang Group is as good as finished. Those who work with them are truly unlucky, though. And the people who have business cooperation with this company will also collapse just like the falling bloody fungus." Unlucky? Tang Xiu secretly laughed inside. Not only did they suffer no loss, but they even annexed the Zhang family's assets. How could it be said to be unlucky? Brother, I believe you also have heard the news, no? The scandals committed by the Zhang Group exploded in the news channels recently. They are accused of inciting local ruffian and gangsters to rob the project as well as engaging in garbage projects. But heck. Anyways, they persisted in evil deeds that brought about them their own destruction. The closing down of this corporation, for common people like us, is kind of a huge celebration. The cab's young driver continued saying. Huh? The Zhang Group has no good reputation? Tang Xiu asked with doubt. The young driver rolled his eyes and snorted, "What good reputation? They're simply notorious." Even some of the Zhang Group's employees began whispering about how bad their projects are. They said there are shady schemes inside their company, and there's a lot of them. In short, now either in the newspaper, television, the internet, all are cursing the Zhang Group with inhumane words. Upon hearing it, Tang Xiu couldn't help but secretly admire Long Hanwen, Chen Zhizhong and the others who came up with such methods. Although he did take the lead in this motion and he knew clearly about most of the machinations, however, in the real operation, there was really too much knowledge included within, whereas the effects it produced were also amazing. At the same day, each major media corporation in Star City, even the headlines in the country, were all about the news of the Zhang Group. Even the Supreme Prosecutor Office had been involved in the investigation. Once the investigation was clarified, the Zhang Group would probably disappear forever from Earth. Furthermore, the naked reality was that, once again, verified the common saying that nobody would support an unfavorable cause such as them, and no one would want to stand for the falling wall. At present, the Jing group had already arrived at a precarious juncture. It was only a matter of time before the closure. After Tang Xiu came to Star City First High School, he directly went to the class 10. Because it was the last time all the students could meet with each other, and they probably wouldn't be able to see the other for the rest of their lives, therefore, everyone was very much cherishing the moments of friendship and affection toward the other classmates. Those students who used to look at Tang Xiu as someone who was not pleasing to the eyes didn't even show any hostility toward him. Yuan Chuling, Chang Yannan, Xiao Wanfen and Li Xiaoqian were talking in whispers. When they saw Tang Xiu's arrival, Yuan Chuling directly pulled him to their group. "Eldest brother, have you decided to which university you are going to enroll?" "Yep, I'm going to Shanghai Uni." Tang Xiu nodded and answered. Yuan Chuling said with a smile, "Well, I know clearly about my scores. Even after you gave me those tutoring courses, I'm afraid that the score I got from the college entrance test might not be enough for me to enter Shanghai University. But heck, since I also intend to go studying in Shanghai, I'll also apply there. Besides, this university is one of the top universities. As for me, I'm going to study in Beijing. My sister has been transferred back there, so I can only go back with her. Xiaoqian is quite good, though. You can go study in the Regal Classical Music Academy in Blue City. Previously I didn't know that she has a very good talent in music, even teacher Huang Ji took her as her student." Chang Yannan said. "Congrats Xiaoqian." Tang Xiu looked at Li Xiaoqian and said with a smile. Li Xiaoqian replied in a humble manner, "Tang Xiu, I'm just taking the account in your light, to be honest. Teacher Huang Ji originally really wanted to pull you into the Regal Classical Music Academy as a professor, but you didn't want it. Afterward, I maintained contact with them and then got one seat from teacher Huang Ji's quota. Well, I'm not interested in music, to begin with, so I'm not going to take that path. Neither do I want to enter the Regal Classical Music Academy. By the way, how about you, Wanfen? Where are you going to study later?" Tang Xiu said. "I want to apply for Jiangnan University, but I don't know if my CET score will pass out though. If I can't be admitted with the first choice, I think I'll apply for the Blue City Institute of Technology." Xia Wanfen said. "I really wish you all success in advance. May we all pass our CET and enter the ideal universities we want. Anyways, Teacher Han arrived, let's go back to our seats." Tang Xiu said with a smile. With a smile hung on her face, Han Qinggu stood at the door. She took a quick glance at everyone in the class and paused for a second as her vision landed on Tang Xiu. Then, she walked toward the podium, all smiling and said, "Everyone, today is the day for you to fill in the application and complete your CET. I believe that you all have estimated the scores you got from the test, which is the reason why it's very important in picking the choice in your application, so I hope you'll take this seriously. The application forms are on my table and I'll distribute to all of you now." After Tang Xiu got the application form, in the first column of the form, he filled Shanghai University. He didn't even fill in the second and third choices because he felt that it was not necessary. Han Qinggu came to Tang Xiu's side. Looking at the form filled by him, she knitted her brows and said, "Why didn't you fill in the second and third choices?" "I'm confident," Tang Xiu said self-confidently. "I know that you have the confidence. But you also know the saying that there have always been unexpected things that are hard to avoid, no? Look, fill the other two school choices. If your CET score passes your first choice, the next ones won't be taken into account either." Han Qinggu humorlessly said. Tang Xiu forced out a smile. He knew that Han Qinggu had no confidence in him. However, he didn't want to quibble with her and directly put the application form into her hand. He got up and said, "Teacher Han, I still have some other things to do, can I go first?" Han Qinggu stopped him and said, "Wait a minute. Wait for me to finish receiving the forms from the class. I have something to talk about with you." "What's up exactly?" Tang Xiu asked. "Just wait first." Han Qingwu answered. Tang Xiu felt helpless. He had complicated feelings toward Han Qingwu. She looked very much like his partner in the immortal world, and solely by this aspect, he was quite repelling her. However, she was also the one who stood up for him in the most difficult time, and even braved herself to help him when the school was about to expel him and put him into class 10. Thus, he could keep his student status here. He might not care about this status, but his mother was all he cared about. If she knew that the school expelled him, she might die from sadness. Forget it. Besides, after today, I'll have nothing related to her again. Maybe, this will also be the last time I meet her in this life. So I'll wait. Upon thinking up to there, Tang Xiu then stayed in the classroom, waiting. After more than an hour, all of class 10 students had left, including Yuan Chuling, Chen Yannan, and the others. After there were only Tang Xiu and Han Qingwu left in the classroom, only then did Tang Xiu ask, Teacher Han, can you say now what exactly do you want from me? Han Qingwu hesitated before she forced out a smile and said, I actually want to ask for your help. That, if it's convenient for you, that is. What's the matter? Tang Xiu asked with a confused expression. Like I said, if it's convenient and you can help for sure. Han Qingwu said. If you won't say it, then forget it. I still have something to do, so I'll go first. Tang Xiu said. Han Qingwu immediately stopped him, saying with a forced smile, all right. I'll tell you. It's my good sister. She'll come to Star City tonight, whereas I'll go to Shanghai for about 2 days. At the most, I can only come back 4 days later. So I thought, can you accompany her on these 2 days? Tang Xiu snapped humorlessly, you need me for this kind of thing? You can let her find a hotel and stay there and just go, no? Just find someone looking for a job in Star City and arrange that person to stay for 2 days and wait until you come back. That should do the job, no?